Today I find out whether the new high loot, low risk strategy works in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Dead. What up? This is probably going to be a pretty fun video for you guys, because if nothing else, the strategy I'm about to share is just super fun to play out. But if you are not familiar, there's a prison strategy that recently went somewhat viral. That's right, this strategy is not my creation, it's been out there already. However, once I saw the video about it and read some of the comments about other players' success with it, I had to find out for myself if it really did work or what the outcome would actually be. So for those that haven't seen the strategy, it plays off the fact that the prison usually has epic military loot, but on the flip side is an extremely dangerous place to drop in with both the popularity and lack of options to fall back on. Sort of like the bridge, this is a fairly linear location. This is where the strategy comes in because you want that epic prison loot, but you don't want to risk dying to bad RNG or an overpopulated point of insertion. Rather than dropping into the prison itself, you're going to parachute to this set of 4 double-story houses just a tiny bit east of the prison entrance. Then put simply, you're going to just loot these houses for a weapon or basic loadout, proceed to the entrance of the prison, find a nice little spot to tuck away and watch, and then finally, when the victor of the prison filters through the exit point, you kill him, and just like that, all the prison loot is yours. So that's the idea of this strategy anyway. How does it stand up against real-world testing? I'll show you. Now, one quick concern you might have is that this plan relies on taking the enemy by surprise and specifically avoiding conflict at the start until you're set up with the upper hand. Well, if this strategy went somewhat viral and people are sharing it, is everyone gonna know about it? In theory, even with the PUBG video going semi-viral to get say 100 to 200,000 views, and of course any video I put out will be in the hundreds if I'm lucky, that number of players is a very small pool compared to the over 15 million copies of this game sold. In theory, you shouldn't be running into anyone that has seen these videos. That all being said, here's the aggregate of data I collected after literally countless drop-ins on solo, duo, and squads. More often than not, I wasn't alone at these starting 4 houses. The main exception would be if those houses and the prison in general was a really long jump from the plane flight path. Then it was usually safe. But if the plane path went directly or relatively near the prison, then there's almost always 1 to 4 enemies dropping in at these houses with me. And if they didn't drop at the houses, sometimes a vehicle from over near the mansion would come flying up a little late. So wouldn't landing with a bunch of other people cancel out the idea of this strategy? Not exactly, because if you follow what I'm about to say, you can guarantee coming out of the initial conflict at these houses alive. Step 1. Make sure you are very familiar with the parachute mechanics and how to get to your desired location the absolute fastest way possible, beating everyone else. If you want me to make a video on that, I'd be happy to do so. I almost always land a good chunk of time ahead of the enemy players at these houses. Step 2. Make sure on your way down, you're counting how many players are dropping at the houses with you and hopefully see where and when they land. Step 3. You need to land at this house here. If you're playing duo or squads, then prioritize these 2 houses, but this one, the northeast house, is the most important one to claim. Step 4. Remember, if there are immediate threats, prioritize getting a weapon and promptly hunting them down. This isn't the time to loot, find a gun, and proceed to the next step. Step 5. This is where the importance of this house in particular comes into play. Once you have a weapon, you'll go to the top level and open the back or east balcony door. This will shelter you from having any other players peep at what you're up to. You will then need to get out onto the balcony, crouch jump onto the railing, and from the railing, crouch jump onto the door, and then finally onto the roof. No one ever expects this move because it can't be done at any of the other houses at this compound. And honestly, there are still a lot of people that don't know about this trick. From here, you will easily be able to track and kill the remaining players at these houses. Now that all the players in your area are dead, quickly finish up looting and head to the prison entrance to set the ambush. This part is pretty straightforward. So long as you didn't take too long to loot at the houses, the prison people should either still be fighting or by now there will be one victorious player or squad who is looting their way through the rest of the prison. There's only one way to exit the prison, and that's the mouth of the cove or the path/road going straight out the north side. Set up with a good vantage point overlooking the main entrance and you'll be ready to kill yourself the final player at the prison and collect all of the loot. That is the strategy in a nutshell, with the addition of having to fight players at the beginning houses. That is not a part of the original strategy, but I find more often than not other players are dropping in there with the same idea. Here are a few other important tips that'll help you out. In my testing, I found that 60% of the time, players would exit the prison hugging the west side wall and running up the hill. That probably ends up being the most important side to set up and camp on. And then it was about half and half, 20% of the players would hug the east side rocks exiting the prison, and the other 20% would run straight out the middle of the path, probably hoping to find a vehicle on the road. So the benefits of camping the east side is that you have a higher vantage point with more solid cover and can see more of the prison from above. The downside is the enemies more frequently exit the west side, and without long range optics, it can be a hard shot to make. Plus, if enemies exit tight along the east side rocks, you may not be able to see them beneath you. Now, the benefit of camping the west side is that players will usually run straight out at you on that side, with the minor cons being you have less cover and less overwatch of the prison in general. If you're playing duo or squads, it's not really a problem because you can cover both sides equally. Once you see what side they're exiting on, your teammate can either move to back you up on that side or pop shots from the opposite side to distract them so you have an easy target to shoot in the back. Now, there are 3 little adjustments you can make to the ambush position. 1, in the event that you only get like shotguns or an Uzi at those first houses, move up close and camp the rusty cars or warehouses just inside the prison fence. 2nd, if there is a single vehicle straight out of the prison along the road, and you have to move quite a ways to get to the circle, there's a good chance the prison victor will take the vehicle and you can just lay down and camp that vehicle. 3rd option, if you're feeling confident and have enough information to go off of, you can just push the prison and speed the process up by quite a bit, kill the remaining players, and you're good to go. Alright, so a few other scenarios that might cause you to deviate a little from the plan. This is when you see a squad parachute into the lumber yard on top of the hill south of the prison. That usually means they're going to be doing the same thing as you, gear up and camp the prison cliff. Similarly, if the circle isn't far to go, the players that parachute into the mansion or yellow houses just north of the prison might head to the prison next to camp it as well. As long as you keep on your toes and stay on lookout for those 2 scenarios to unfold, you will have the upper hand. In both cases, they're usually pretty focused on the people inside the prison, and you can sneak up for a few easy kills. And for the final tip, on your flight down to the ground, look for vehicles along the road. There's very often multiple vehicles just north of the houses, so when I finish gearing up, I'll pull one of those vehicles up the hill and tuck it away in case we're at the prison for an extended amount of time. This way you can quickly bounce to the circle and guarantee no one else is going to come out of Lopovka or something and snatch up those vehicles. So we're at the end of this little data examination. Does this strategy work? Essentially, yes it does. It is a much lower risk than dropping into the prison, and more often than not, it's a pretty high loot strategy. But it definitely doesn't always play out exactly as intended, and that is where my recommendation comes in. I cannot recommend trying this strategy enough, not because it's an easy way to get a lot of loot, but because every round is a super fun new adventure. Prior to trying this strategy out, there is a limited type of ways I could play around. Of course, one is to go guns blazing into the school, military base, or prison. Another way is to pick some less popular compounds and play a little more passive for late game. And there's a few other things like camping the bridges or going for all the airdrops, but this prison strategy adds a whole new type of way to play. It adds a whole new little adventure to the land of PUBG, if you will. So try it out for yourself, and please tell me your results in the comments, or even comment a link to your gameplay if you upload it. I'd love to know what other results people are getting from this strategy, whether it lines up with mine or is completely different. Finally, in case you're wondering, well, that's great for the beginning of the game, but does it set you up for a win? Here's your answer. And I mean, of course, a round can spin off in a million different directions at any point. You could start horribly with no loot and still manage a win. Some of these rounds, in fact, we definitely shouldn't have won, but somehow we did. I'm gonna let them play out for you now. And by the way, I have my nicer recording mic hooked up, and for some reason, Shadowplay makes it sound super awful. I'm still trying to figure that out, so bear with me on the bad quality mic sound. Other than that, kick back, enjoy, and I will see you guys on the Battlegrounds. He's knocked out.
Nice.
Does he have a squad mate over there? Oh, crap! Right up the hill from me. Coming down right on me. Okay, dead. Oh, here, yeah. There's a vehicle right here. Here. There's a guy at the tree. Oh, right on the other side of this rock. Tree.
Yeah.
He's hit. Oh, holy crap. He has an AWM. Careful. One-shot headshots. Oh, I don't know if he has an angle on part of my body. No.
I don't think so.
Oh, crap. From the right, the other tree. Oh, they're on the same squad.
Knocked him out.
Nice. Don't go for me. I don't see this guy. I'm calling. Give me up. Quick. Oh, that was the last tick of health. I was fine with dying, but geez. Clutched it. Clutched that kill, man.
And I have level 1 gear. I don't know how I survived that.
Serious. Okay, well, he has an AWM, for one.
Okay, I'll go get the loot on the right.
Oh, we gotta get out of here fast, so. Ooh. Oh, I see guys on the coast way down in front of us. Pushing the rock.
This tree zone that I'm on.
Pushing the rock. Get ready. They jumped out. They're fighting. Oh, I see him. Both dead. Both were instant.
What about the dudes that were shooting?
Yeah, I killed that guy first. They're both right at the same spot, and they were both instant kills. Let's clear it real quick. Clearing the backside.
Another vehicle coming up. US 240 southwest.
Yep.
Could be coming up here.
Yep. If they stop down below us, light them up. Yep, they are. He's hit behind that pine tree.
Yep.
Dead. Backing up. I'm just worried about that. Oh, I see a guy crossing the field.
Direction.
He's hit. It's 255 west. He's so low. He has level 2 armor, and I hit him with the AWM. He's running across the field out in the open. If you can get one more tap on him, he'll go down. He's running across the field, west, directly west. And he's dead. Okay.
I don't see him.
Oh yeah, you can't see him from there. Sorry. He's down over this ridge. Oh, crap. Out to
From the left.
Yeah, I see him.
Should I come to you?
I knocked him. Where's his buddy? Try to come to me if you can.
I'm bleeding out fast.
Okay, coming to you.
3, 2,
No.
1.
Oh, his buddy's chucking smoke. He's going for the res. Get ready to just light them up.
Okay.
He's rezzing middle of the field. Light that smoke up. The blue's coming in. Oh, I see him. He's hit.
Yep.
Okay, dead. Oh, there's the last two guys.
Where?
Hit. One knocked out, one on the right. Get him. Nice. Oh, that was too crazy.